All right, we're back live with another end of day post wave report with yours truly, the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from postwavetrading.com, home of the world famous post wave price trigger reports. All right, so it is preparation time for Take Back Friday. For those that don't know, Take Back Friday means that if the market's been up all week, it will be down slightly due to profit taking on Friday. If it's been down all week, it'll be up slightly on Friday due to profit taking. Doesn't always occur, but 9 times out of 10, it does. All right, so here's your US dollar, ladies and gentlemen. And as you can see here, it powered up. It has powered up. And this is what you're looking like on your weekly chart. Okay. Breaking out of the Kumo cloud there, we hit that 95 handle. So the dollar has become red hot. Now you're just waiting to see if the trend line is going to pop up top side of the Kumo cloud and if the dollar is going to get really strong here. This is very, very informative on where this thing goes. So far, it's looking like a continuation pattern into next week. If you look at the euro yen on the weekly chart, you'll see that you're accelerating to the downside, getting closer toward that 129 handle where the trend line support is and meets the top of the Kumo cloud. All right, so we had the crash alert sell signal coming into this week, and the market has not disappointed. All right, you're getting that downside production there. Take a look at nat gas. All right, we got a rally alert buy signal for tonight into tomorrow's trading, but you're right here at the overhead trend line resistance, and you're smack dab in the middle of the Kumo cloud. Switching over to the weekly chart, and you'll see that overall you're just moving sideways. Not a lot happening. You had a crash alert sell signal coming into this week. Market gave you that downside production. I don't think it's over. I think the market's going to make its way down here toward the $4 mark, sitting right at the trend line support for that one. Taking a look at the GBTC for the Bitcoin ETF. We had that crash alert sell signal coming into today. You got that downside production. I think it's on the way to fill the gap, so I think more downside is coming. On the weekly chart, you can see here the gap up as well. If it doesn't back and fill tomorrow, then that means going into next week, you can see this thing come down and definitely back and fill. Gaps will get filled eventually. Taking a look at your gold miners. As you know, gold's been powering up. Your gold miners on the daily chart taking off, man. The rally alert buy signal from November the 3rd is giving you upside production. Really nice. PulseWave's nailed it nicely for you. But on the weekly, finally stuck the head up over the overhead trendline resistance. Now it's making its way up toward the bottom of the Kumo cloud. So I think somewhere about 55-ish is coming and is now in play for the GDXJ gold miners. Flipping over to the real estate, the IYR, you know what I showed you yesterday. All right, so today you got more downside, and then the market rallies into the close. Going over to the weekly, this is what it's looking like. Looking like we'll have a crash alert sell signal probably, depending on how the market closes tomorrow. Going into next week, trend line support at about $100 a share for IYR, the real estate ETF, will be in play. Gold futures powered up. Here's the daily chart. You can see that. And flipping over to the weekly, market sticking its head up. It's trying to get back up to the top of the Kumo cloud. You're in a longer term consolidation pattern. It may look like, ooh, gold is doing all this and that, but look where you came from and dropped down to, right? So this is also a bearish pointer that hasn't been dealt with. So I think the August lows are going to be in play, but sooner rather than later. 1900 is another key resistance area before the market probably fails and falls back down into alignment. But this bar here from the week of June 18th was in play for a minute. Then the market extended the sideways pattern. It did it on the week of August 13th. All right. And we're kind of still in that zone that that June 18th, August 13th consolidation zone area. It's a very wide consolidation area. All right, looking at crude oil by way of ticker OIH on the daily. So we had the crash alert sell signal coming into today. We didn't get any downside production as of yet, but the market is still under a correction pattern, and you are now in the red zone. Flipping it over to the weekly chart, and what do you see? You see it sideways with a negative bias. Trend line support, around that 200 mark is definitely in play. We'll see how this market moves next week. Taking a look here at bonds on the daily chart, you can see we have the crash alert sell signal. Today we get the narrow range inside day. Flip it over to the weekly chart. So far we're setting up for a crash alert sell signal going into next week. Bottom of the Kumo cloud around the 140 mark would be in play. So this is all contingent upon how the markets close going into next week. That's going to be key in how this all happens. Looking at Bitcoin on the daily chart, we had the crash alert sell signal coming into today. We got the narrow range inside day. Instead, on the daily chart, we got a rally alert buy signal for tonight into tomorrow's trading. Flipping it over to the weekly, so far we're looking at building a continuation pattern going into next week. So, looking like the market wants to continue to extend this rally. Looking at the forex side of things, here's the Australian dollar. And you can see today the market extended its downside production from the crash alert sell signal on October 31st. Flipping over to the weekly, the market's trying to make its way outside of the Kumo cloud. Dangling over the cliff here, is the Australian dollar going to fall outside of the cloud, or is it going to try to technically bounce? We'll have to see how these markets close tomorrow to get a better clue. Looking at the Canadian dollar. Canadian dollar really poked its head up today, really trying to make it toward the bottom of the Kumo cloud at the 127.50 range. Flipping over to the weekly chart, you can see that the overhead trend line resistance is going to be a key resistance area for this to get back into, and it's still only putting it just in the beginning of the cloud. Once you get back up to 127, you're in the center of the Kumo cloud. And then once you get up to around the 130, 131 mark, that'll put you at the top of the Kumo cloud and just poking your head out from that. So you're in the red zone on the weekly. Are you getting a technical bounce off of these lows? Question is the market going to bump its head on the overhead trend line resistance and then fall down? I don't know. We have the rally alert buy signal coming into this week. We got the nice upside production. I say you start popping your way through it and locking in some profits, because you just never know. And with that being said, remember, you know what it is, PulseWaveTrading.com. We are running a special where you can save $100 off. All right, for the and you can save that every month. It's not just a one-time $100. You can save that. You'll get that discount every month. All right, if you sign up today at PulseWaveTrading.com. Be smart. Take advantage of that so you can get these reports on your dashboard and put yourself in a predicament where you can build a nice, solid, consistent income stream. We're all going to need it going forward. You know what's going on in the world today. And with that being said, I hope everyone has a great weekend. And remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I am out. Peace.